Hey Katie, hope you're doing well. I kind of want to start out with that first graph you referenced. I think it's a really good graph for what you were saying for how it's like simple. But I think too, where I personally would disagree that it's like an amazing graph, is that it's also because it's simple. It's simple in that it's easy to digest, but I think it's almost too simple in trying to convey the point that the whole article was trying to make. And I think that's where that graph kind of really lacked, which I think kind of juxtaposes the one you thought, the second graph you talked about that was like bad with the jumbled lines and stuff, where that one's really complex. So it's like hard to like understand and get across that like point of the article. Whereas I think the initial one was almost too simple. And I think there needs to be like a fine line between that where it's complex enough to convey the point, but complex in its idea of what it's trying to convey, but simple in the graphic part so that it's easy to understand. I think to answer your question though too, with that, like, do we need is a graphic really good if we have to talk about it? And I would say the graphic is still good because I think it sometimes too with like that storytelling idea that was being talked about. I think both imagery and words are both equally important in trying to convey, and both make the other stronger. And I think when we're talking about like really complex information, even if the visual is complex, it does help to conceptualize what is being talked about and further prove its importance or help further a reader further understand it. Um, and I think it also just helps to, like broaden your scope on reader understanding because, like not everyone's like, um, reads at like a high academic level, and some people read at like their average reading in the US is like a fourth grade reading level. So then hopefully the visual will help to contextualize like the complexity of the verbiage used. But yeah, I hope you're having a great rest of your week. Good luck finishing off the semester.